All right, let's talk about something a little scary. We're going to dive into a pretty serious security risk that was found in a tool millions of us use probably every single day, Notepad++.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Let's just get right into it. The very thing that's supposed to keep Notepad++ safe, its update function, turned out to have this critical flaw. And we're talking about a flaw that could turn a simple everyday update into a wide-open door for malware. So, to be super clear, the problem wasn't with the editor itself, the place you're actually writing code. Nope. The crack in this trusted tool was all about the update process, the very system that's supposed to keep everything safe and up to date.
And the weak link here has a name, WinGup. That's the built-in updater for Notepad++. What security researchers figured out was that this thing, it just wasn't doing its homework. It wasn't properly checking the digital fingerprint of the update files it was grabbing. And that failure, that lack of validation, created a really dangerous opening for an attack.
Okay, so how exactly does this hijack work? How could an attacker actually exploit this? Well, the method they could use is a classic, and you might have heard of it before. It's called a man-in-the-middle attack.
So what is a man-in-the-middle attack? Think of it like this. Your mail carrier intercepts a package that's meant for you, but instead of just delivering it, they open it up, swap out what's inside with something malicious, and then they reseal it so perfectly that you'd never know. You get your package, open it up, and boom, it's too late. You have no idea it was ever tampered with.
And that's the truly scary part, right? From your end, everything seems fine. You click Update, you think you're getting the latest features, but in the background, you're literally installing malware without a clue.
Let's just walk through the attack path. It's actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, you do something totally normal. You request an update. But then an attacker hijacks that request on the network. They redirect you to a fake server that they control. And from there, a malicious file gets downloaded instead of the real one. It's a simple, legitimate action from you that gets turned into a silent malware delivery system.
Okay, so that's the bad news. The vulnerability was pretty serious, so how did the developers respond? Well, thankfully, they moved fast to forge a stronger shield and really harden that whole update process. The goal was to shut this attack vector down completely.
And you can really see the difference here when you look at the update process before versus after. Before, the update file was basically downloaded and executed right away. It was just trusted. But after the fix, there's a huge new step. The file is downloaded, but then its signature and its certificate are verified. It's only executed if everything is valid. If anything fails that check, the update is just stopped in its tracks. No exceptions.
So they really added a bunch of new security enhancements. We're talking strict digital signature verification, mandatory certificate validation for all the installers, and if any of those checks fail, the whole process just aborts. They even signed the binaries with a new global sign certificate. It's this multi-layered approach that makes sure only authentic, untouched files from the real developers can get onto your system. It's like adding a bunch of new locks to the door.
All right, so all this technical talk is great, but it all comes down to the most important part of this whole explainer, your essential security update. What do you need to do right now to stay safe?
Okay, this is the number you need to burn into your memory. 8.8.9. That's it. If your version of Notepad++ is anything lower than 8.8.9, you are still vulnerable. So here's your 4-step security checklist, and it's super important you follow it. First, check the version you're running right now. Second, and this is crucial, download the update only from the official website. Don't go to some third-party site. Third, get that update to version 8.8.9 or anything newer. And finally, for good measure, it's a good idea to remove any old Notepad++ root certificates just to clean up any old trust permissions.
Really, the big takeaway here is simple. Always get your software updates directly from the official source. This whole thing is just a huge reminder that where you get your download is just as important as the update itself. It's your #1 defense. And, this whole thing leaves us with a much bigger question, doesn't it? Because this story wasn't just about Notepad++. It's about the fundamental trust, maybe even a blind trust, that we put into all the digital tools we use every single day.